It's one of the great unknowns. What happens when the show comes to an end? When the 32 teams in this league pack it up and close up shop? It could be the second the curtain drops, the switch flips, the clock is punched, the foot comes off the gas, and it's see you again in September. Maybe the offseason really is just a one-way ticket to manicured fairways and white sand beaches, drinks with the little umbrellas. Or maybe, deep down, we know better.
Good, there you go!
We know after hours, when the show is wrapped and the audience is cleared, is when the real work starts. When the real strides are made. When every second gained, every second wasted can be the difference.
Everything you got! Show me something tonight, man! Oh, what a hit! This is unbelievable! For the touchdown! Oh, my God!
It's week 1. The door's open. This is Fox NFL Sunday. Back in business.
Let the joy begin. The first football Sunday is upon us, and the excitement about Jaden Daniels is so strong in D.C., it's united all of Washington, as last year's Offensive Rookie of the Year starts his second term today against the rival Giants. The Bengals hope that playing Joe Burrow more this preseason leads to a return to the postseason. Last year's leader in passing yards and touchdowns is ready to let it fly today in the Battle of Ohio. While the unicorn who is Travis Hunter looks to unleash his magic on the NFL. We will see how the Jaguars use the rookie who played on both sides of the ball in college on his way to winning the Heisman Trophy. We'll actually hear from Hunter later in the show. Also later, some of you will see the debut of the #1 overall pick, the Titans' Cam Ward, facing a team with mile-high potential, the Denver Broncos. And Sam Darnold takes over the Seahawks offense against Christian McCaffrey and the San Francisco 49ers. From CMC, we welcome you to the Fox NFL Sunday pregame show presented by GMC and its all-electric full-size truck, the GMC Sierra EV. We are professional grade. And as we start the new NFL year, we are happy to say, come on in and stay a while, folks. I'm Kurt Menefee. Thanks for starting your first Sunday with us, and thanks to Austin Butler for starting off our show. Make sure you check out his new film, Caught Stealing, which is in theaters right now. All right, I'm here with Super Bowl champions Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, Michael Strahan, and Rob Gronkowski. Good to see you, boys. Happy New Year.
Hey, you too, Kurt. Good to see you.
Great to be here, Kurt.
Gronk, good to have you here. You know, Jimmy's not with us anymore.
He's retired now.
He's retired. So Gronk's in his stead, and so what that means is the age difference we save in about 60 years. So this group has all of a sudden gotten younger, and that gives me another 2 years, I know for sure.
I will tell you what.
Yes, that is
Thank you.
Jimmy's watching, and we'll all have a text. The second we get to
Probably about his picks any moment right now.
I miss you, Jimmy.
We'll miss you, Jimmy. All right, let's talk about this upcoming season. And who would have thunk the biggest move of the NFL offseason happened right before the start of the regular season?
Some alarms sounding in Dallas.
Jerry and Micah are both dug in here. Neither side willing to budge. Micah Parsons traded by the Cowboys.
Parsons to the Packers. This is going to get ugly.
Holy shit.
There's a lot of emotions to sort through. $47 million per year.
Are the Packers in the Super Bowl? I'd say yeah.
Honestly, everything happens for a reason.
Howie, I think everybody was surprised by this trade.
Yeah, I was surprised, one, with the trade, you know, quarterback, left tackle, pass rusher, particularly young pass rusher, you know, kind of a dynamic player. You make the trade, but then waiting this long to make the trade, and you do it late, which limits, I think, the compensation. I was surprised. Jerry has dealt with a lot of complicated players over the years. He's never let that get in the way of talent, and this guy has immense talent. I go to Ron Wolf in Green Bay, bringing Reggie White up there, and it brought that franchise back, and they won a Super Bowl. Reggie was 31. This guy's 26 years old. Yeah. I think he could have the same impact on the Packers.
Well, we'll have to see. Hello, America TV here.
Hello.
Good to see you. I'm proud to be up here with my fellas. I think Jerry Jones did the right thing. I don't blame him one bit. I would have unloaded him. Saves me a ton of money on the salary cap, #1. All right? He's automatically getting 2 more first-round picks to go with the 2 he's already got. And who's to say that at the end of this year, if things don't work out, somebody's going to get traded and pick up another one. Jerry Jones is sitting in the driver's seat. I think it was a smart decision. And here's the one thing about Jones, whether or not Parsons was a difference maker or not with the injury to the back, and you tell me that's no big deal. I disagree.
I'm not buying it.
Okay, I do. But anyway, here's the thing. Jerry Jones had to answer to no one to make this trade. It wasn't the Jimmy Johnson trade when Jimmy moved Walker and they got the 6 players and they unloaded the 6 players, which equaled 6 draft picks. This is going to be the same thing, though. Good move by Jerry Jones.
Getting draft picks and using them correctly are two different things.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to see how this turns out. Michael, the other big move this offseason was Aaron Rodgers going to the Pittsburgh Steelers at the age of 41. Is this going to work out?
Yeah, they didn't have to give up any draft picks either, Kurt. How amazing was that? You know what? I'm kind of like Brad Pitt in that F1 movie. I believe there's a little bit of magic left in the tank. Just one more time, baby. Just one more time. You know, Tom Brady, who was the GOAT, called Aaron Rodgers the greatest passer the league has ever seen. They bring in DK Metcalf. They have a defense. This team has a winning season. They've never had a losing season under Mike Tomlin. They just haven't won a playoff game in 8 years. I do think that Aaron Rodgers can make a difference. I do think this defense obviously is playoff caliber. The matter of just the offense catching and getting up to snuff. I wish he'd been there in the offseason to really work with these guys, but he wasn't. That's what it is. But I do think that there's some magic left in Aaron Rodgers.
Make the play at the end of the game.
Yeah, and my friend Gary O'Neill asked me to say all that good stuff about his Steelers.
Gary,
anyway,
you delusional.
Well, Michael, talking about 2 of the greatest quarterbacks to play, I played with Tom Brady going into his 40s, and he didn't have to prove that he could win or get the accolades. He just had to prove the dollars wrong, that he could play at a high level going into his 40s, and he sure did. He went to Tampa, won a Super Bowl. That was the cherry on top. But can Aaron Rodgers win going into his 40s? Last year with the Jets, no, he couldn't. But that's a pass. That's a pass. I'm not sure what the record was, but they couldn't win.
5-12.
But that's a pass because that was the Jets organization, Terry. But now he's in with the Pittsburgh Steelers, a winning organization. Tomlin never had a losing record. He's got wide receivers now, DK Metcalf, a great defense. If he's one of the reasons the Pittsburgh Steelers don't make the playoffs this year, that will tarnish his legacy a little bit, that he couldn't win at the tail end of his career.
All right, let's check in with Jay Glazer on both these subjects. Good to see you, Jay.
You too, man. How we doing?
All right, so let's go back to the Micah Parsons trade. What really went down there with Dallas?
Okay, look, we all know that Micah Parsons asked for a trade about a week or so in the camp. What nobody knows is that Dallas actually made the decision to trade him about a week or so before that, started putting feelers out. What they were hoping to do was trade him to an AFC team. I think they were shocked they could not get any traction anywhere from an AFC team. The team that actually threw in the biggest offer was the Philadelphia Eagles for 2-1 to 3-5, amongst other things. Obviously didn't want to trade him in the division. But the Green Bay Packers, they chimed in early. They kept with it. And Kenny Clark is what made the difference for Dallas.
All right, we talked about Aaron Rodgers at the age of 41. You don't think he looks it, though?
No, I actually had a chance to train with him all offseason. I've trained with hundreds of NFL players. This guy, we trained at a place called Proactive up here in Westlake Village. Man, this guy did tour-a-days. He lifted. He ran hills. He ran sand dunes. He boxed, as you could see here. He did so much stuff. He's not a normal 41-year-old, and he trained with all the linemen.
I'm watching that, and I'm like, why is he the only one to get to punch you in the face? I've been waiting for years.
Oh, look at that. See, it's combo for combo.
You're too short.
No,
that's no pay-per-view. Thank you. Get out of here. We don't need to see any of this. We got more to come here on Fox NFL Sunday.
Coming up right after the break, we've got a Super Bowl-sized announcement for Week 2. Heisman winner Travis Hunter gets set with fellow two-way player Charles Woodson in anticipation of his NFL debut. TB12 pops in to get us ready for an NFC East showdown that you won't want to miss. Plus, EA sits down with Russell Wilson to see if he's still got what it takes to win in the big city. All that and more on Fox NFL Sunday.
You guys still drafting your fantasy teams?
No, I'm drafting the guest list for Taylor and Travis's wedding.
Selena Gomez fell to table 3. That's good value.
I thought we were wearing suits. No, food's here.
You guys order pizza? Even better. Is that a Jay Glazer cake topper?
It's true to size.
Very nice.
So cute.
They're taking punches everywhere today, right?
Finally on top. Did they say was that actual size?
It's actual size. Yes, it is. Of course, whenever that wedding happens, it'll be a star-studded guest list. The NFL's A-list, though, kicked off the season already. In fact, on Thursday night in Philly, the new banner was flying, spit was flying, and in the end, it was Fly, Eagles, Fly. Meanwhile, on Friday down in Brazil, Mahomes' magic just not enough as the Chargers and Justin Herbert look fully loaded in their big win over the Chiefs, which gives us time to tell you that we've got a huge game coming up next week. So big, we're taking our pregame show on the road to Kansas City for the Super Bowl rematch between the Eagles and the Chiefs. 2-hour coverage of the pregame from KC starts at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, these two teams got off to different starts this year. It is time for a precision preview brought to you by GMC. And guys, I'm going to throw it out there. It's only week 2, so if not a must-win, is it already a need-to-win game for KC?
I think so.
Absolutely.
Right?
I think it was already going to be a big game because of the way the Super Bowl was played. I think they got mauled, and anytime as a great team or a great player, you want your retribution, and this was going to be it. Now with the loss in week 1, I think it magnifies that.
Jay, 3 plays on the offense. 3 plays into the game, Xavier Worthy went down with that shoulder injury. What's his status?
Actually, Xavier Worthy, he actually dislocated that shoulder the moment Travis Kelce hit him. And when he got to the ground, the Chiefs popped it back in. So here's the deal. He's getting a second opinion today. There was a labral tear in there. There was no bone fractures, which helps it out. But the decision now is, do we do the surgery now? Do we do it in the offseason? If they do it in the offseason, they could continue to play this year, and they're just going to have to monitor it.
But he won't be full strength.
He's getting a second opinion.
Getting hurt early.
Hey, let's talk about the Chiefs' offense. They didn't score a touchdown in the first half of this game. Didn't score a touchdown in the first half of the Super Bowl either. Has the rest of the league figured out something about KC's offense?
I don't think so. Look, when you don't play the entire preseason, I don't care if you are Mahomes or Kelce or anyone else, you're just not sharp. I thought the second half the Chiefs came back. I thought they played well. I thought both tackles, the rookie left tackle out of Ohio State, 74, 71, the right tackle, they weren't on the cadence together. All in all, I thought the second half the Chiefs came back. But San Diego was very impressive.
Losing Worthy early didn't help. And I do think what TV made a point, not playing in the preseason, the guys having collisions like that, they shouldn't even be near each other.
All right, the story after the game was Jalen Hurts and the spit heard around the world.
Yep.
Gronk, what do you do if you're the Eagles with Jalen Carter?
Well, I can tell you they shall go up to Jalen Carter and say, hey, we need you, buddy. We need that pass rush. We need you in the run game as well. You're a complete player. Look what happened. They were passing all over us on the field because we couldn't get to the quarterback. Jalen Carter's a special player. They need him. Hopefully he learns from this situation and can continue to be a beast out on the football field. Just keep it in between the whistles, buddy.
You know, when you got a great player like that, you walk up, no matter how bad he messed up, and say, hey, just don't do it again. Go ahead. Go on there.
He's that good.
We're going to be in KC for the game next week.
Don't make him mad.
Brisket, ribs, burn ends. What do you want?
Woo!
Burn ends. I don't know what they are.
Burn ends with some barbecue sauce.
You know what, you guys are short-sighted, man. Give me all 3. Why limit?
There you go.
Yeah.
A little macaroni salad on the side. When we come back, we're going to get back to today's games as Travis Hunter makes his much-anticipated debut. He'll tell our own two-way star, Charles Woodson, what we can expect to see in his first game. And later, the GOAT Tom Brady will get us set for an NFC East rivalry between the Giants and Commanders. All that and more as we get closer to the kickoff of our first Sunday.
Hey, Cowboys, no more punching TVs, okay? You got 16 games left.
Don't worry, I won't. Dang it, Jerry!
Hey, what are you guys doing? You can't put that up in here. Take it down.
Aw, that was number 1.
Attention, this hospital is a no spitting zone, unlike the Eagles-Cowboys game.
Raiders, you look different.
Yeah, we totally changed our look. You like it?
Ask me again in week 8.
Attention, no one cares about your fantasy football team.
Congratulations. It's a wide receiver and a defensive back.
Yes! All nurses to the nurses station. All nurses to the nurses station.
Whose kid is that?
That's not a kid. That's Kyler Murray.
He really is small. Knock, knock. How'd the QB swap go?
Well, I'd say it's a complete success. How do you guys feel?
Not much different. Same. Sounds about right.
Bills Mafia, please move your car.
Mark, you jumped through a table already. Your game isn't until tonight.
I know. I got a head start.
You know where to go.
This is our year!
I'm sure it is.
Hey, maybe it is finally the Bills' time, or maybe it's the year of the Lions.
That's funny
Detroit
stuff.
will face the Packers later today. The Lions coming off a 15-win season, and as often happens to a #1 seed, Detroit staff got raided. Offensive wizard Ben Johnson left Motown to be the new head coach of the division rival Chicago Bears, while defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn took off for the Jets. Denver's John Morton takes over on offense. Kelvin Shepard got promoted on defense as the new coordinator, but Gronk losing both coordinators in the same offseason, does that spell trouble?
Well, Detroit Lions are used to lose. Sorry about that. The Detroit Lions are used to losing both of their coordinators every year because they were always really so bad back in the day and always got fired. Right. All right, but this is a total different ballgame. They lost them to head coaching jobs now. That just shows where the Lions organization is now. And don't expect the defense to really be any different because they promoted within the linebacker coach, Kelvin Shepard. It's going to be the same type of schemes because he learned from defensive coordinator from last year, Aaron Glenn. But there's going to be a little learning curve on the offensive side of the ball because they went and got the passing coordinator from Denver. But expect them to still be a high-powered offense because they got that core nucleus of players led by Jared Goff. So they're still going to put up points, and they're going to lead off from where they were last year and be dominant still.
It's a fascinating division. You know, Green Bay, it's kind of an interesting team. They're the youngest team in football. They won 11 games last year. They were 1-5 in the division. Jordan Love injured week 1 in Brazil, and I don't think he was healthy for the majority of the season. I'm not sure if he was ever healthy. He struggled with turnovers. The wide receiver room struggled with drops. They were bottom 5 in drops. They couldn't get pressure. Micah Parsons takes care of that if they get the Jordan Love that they had 2 years ago down the stretch. They're golden. Speaking of golden, they're #1 pick. There's a lot of buzz about him being the #1 receiver they've wanted for a couple of years. I think this team could not only win the division, but be a Super Bowl contender with the talent they have. And they're the youngest team in football. It's scary.
Two other teams who think they're Super Bowl contenders as well will get together, and it's the last 2 MVPs as well in Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Now, since they were both drafted in 2018, the Bills have the 3rd most wins of the regular season. The Ravens, well, they're 2nd in the NFL. Of course, they both trail the Kansas City Chiefs, who lead the way, and Patrick Mahomes has never lost to either team. So, TB, this is a regular season matchup to start the year, but for these two teams, it's a bigger goal than that.
Well, it is. Listen, it's so hard when you're that good between Buffalo and Baltimore to not think, let's get the season over with and get to the playoffs. Neither one of these teams has gotten to the Super Bowl. It's hard to believe that you can have 2 MVPs in the league. One of them, look, Jackson for Baltimore, the quarterback last year, 41 touchdown passes, 900 and something yards rushing. All right, that screams MVP. He lost it to the other guy, Josh Allen. The only thing I can see that changes, it makes the difference between these two teams and maybe these 2 quarterbacks is this. When you get in these big games that get you to the Super Bowl, you got to find a comfort zone you've never been in before. Because if I point out one thing, Howie, Michael, Gronk, Kurt, it's this. When you look at the last 2 years for the Baltimore Ravens, what's the difference? Turnovers. 3 turnovers against Kansas City at home, mind you, and then 3 turnovers in Buffalo last year, and they lose both of those games. Clean up the turnovers, find a comfort zone. Boy, either one of these teams can go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I love Buffalo.
Yeah.
Man, I love Josh Allen. I love everything he represents. I love James Cook. This is a great team that they have right here. But they're 0-5 between them, Baltimore and Buffalo. 0-5 against KC. So they got to get over that hump. But I almost feel like this season isn't so much about KC. It's about those 2 against each other. I think it may come down to that. But you look at Buffalo, and they put everything into this season. They won the division 5 years straight. They have 20 of 22 starters returning. They brought in Joey Bosa. They have loaded up for success this year because they're looking for that one piece to get them over the edge. And I do feel like this is the year that Buffalo shows up. And the biggest challenge, like I said, it's going to be Baltimore. I feel
game could determine home field.
Yep.
Sounds like college.
It'll be a big matchup. That's later on. But right now, we want to let you know that once again, you've got a shot at winning free money on the Fox Sports app by playing Fox Super 6, brought to you by DraftKings. One of the questions today, who will have the most receiving yards? Maybe it'll be the reigning league leader, Jamar Chase. When we come back, we'll get you all set for the early games here on Fox. Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers trying to defend their division title. Bucky Irving certainly has gone a long way in helping that as he gets ready for his second season. Bryce Young turned it around at the end of last year. How will his Panthers do today in Jacksonville as they take on Travis Hunter and the Jaguars?
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Verizon. The NFL is powered by Verizon 5G.
We're a half hour to kick off, so let's get our screen pass brought to you by Tide. Travis Hunter last year cleaned up in college, winning both the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year awards. He's the only player ever to do that. It was on his way to taking the Heisman Trophy, which is what our Charles Woodson did back in the day in similar fashion, playing both ways at the University of Michigan. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
He reminds you a little bit of yourself?
He does, because we both wanted to do. But what he won't let you do is define him as an offensive player or a defensive player. But what he will be defined by are the plays that he makes on the field. My guy, what's up with you, man?
Not much.
Feeling good?
Yes, sir.
How was camp and everything?
Great. Yes, sir. Ain't nothing like it.
You in the league, baby. Let me see if you're aware, though. Oh, your boy don't miss a beat. When I was a young player, my second year in the NFL, I got to play a little bit of offense.
And Charles Woodson is coming on the field.
We had the Fremont pack.
To play wideout.
Fremont is where I'm from. We didn't run it enough, if you ask me. But here in Jacksonville, they've leaned in to you playing both sides of the ball. Why are you the person to do it?
Just my mindset, my mental, you know. I go out there every day and show the guys that I'm going to work.
And with the second pick,
took a chance on me, so why not go ahead and go all out for him?
Travis Hunter. It's Hunter. Look out!
Travis Hunter is a unit. We're never going to see this again.
Travis Hunter. And he reminds me of like that Charles Woodson. Give him the Heisman now.
And the winner, Charles Woodson.
You know, they try to compare my career, your career.
Travis Hunter.
But man, what you did is so much different. You know, I would say you're much more like Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, intercepted! Oh, my goodness! Goal line eyes! Touchdown!
Do you consider yourself a receiver, defensive back?
I just consider myself Travis. Just go out there and just play ball.
Last year, man, you played over 1,500 snaps in college football, which is crazy.
And that's not even counting practice.
That's not even counting practice, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tell me what a typical day is like for you.
Typical day. Wake up, come here, get treatment, eat. We have meetings. I go to a defensive position meeting, then I go to offensive unit meetings. And then practice, special teams playbook about this thick every day.
Hold on one second, hold on. My head is spinning right now. It's gonna be your first NFL game.
Yeah.
What do you think is gonna be going through your mind when you come out that tunnel?
Just get a win with my team. That's all I think about right now. I'm out there just being happy, you know, being the energy for the team. But after the game, it's definitely gonna hit me. I grew up 4 hours from here, so I definitely gonna be super proud of myself for achieving the goals that I want to achieve.
Okay, so it's 4th and 10, it's the fourth quarter. Would Travis rather be the receiver catching the game-winning touchdown? Or would he like the game?
Never answering that question.
Or do you want the game-sealing interception?
Nope, never answering that question.
You can't be both at the same time.
See, it's impossible for me to be either or, too, so. Yes, sir.
Hey, look, congratulations to you.
Yes, sir.
You know I'm a big fan. Welcome to the NFL.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
My man. Man, as you can see, man, this kid, Travis Hunter, he eats, drinks, and sleeps football.
Yep.
All he wants to do is get onto the field. He understands all the hype and everybody talking about him. What's he going to do? How many plays is he going to play? He just wants to get out there and show the world his talent, man. I for one, I can't wait to see him go out there and perform.
Me too.
The kid wants to fish and play football.
That's it.
He's just a likable kid. He's a smart kid. You got to be smart to play both sides of the ball. You did it. It's a challenge. Liam Cohen was brought in to fix Trevor Lawrence. And, you know, Trevor Lawrence had his moments early on. He's kind of somewhat regressed. Maybe it's the talent around him. Certainly Hunter brings some talent down there that's unique. And they've got another young wide receiver who exploded last year. I think that's big for them. He's going to play wide receiver because that's where you score points. Lester Hayes, Mike Haynes, they didn't have to go into meetings to be able to play cover one. I got you.
You
that's
my
it.
man. That's
You're my man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Good job with the interview.
Thank you.
By the way,
Appreciate it.
did you tell him to get a haircut? Because he cut it since you talked to him.
A couple of days. It's new and improved Travis Hunter, man.
We like it a lot. Great job with the interview. Thanks, Charles.
Sure.
We'll see you on Fox
Thanks
NFL
for having me,
Kickoff
guys.
each and every week.
brother.
What is the plan for Travis Hunter today?
All right, well, the plan for Travis Hunter today is he's going to play slot at receiver, and how he's right, he's going to play more receiver than he is on defense. However, Liam Cohen said he is going to play defense and obvious passing downs on second and third downs. He said we still want to work him back because he was hurt this preseason, but over time, we expect him to do more and more on both sides of the ball. And I said, eventually, you think he can start on both sides of the ball? He said, at some point, yes. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but that's our hope one day.
All right, that's one of our games coming up at the top of the hour. Another one is Cincinnati against Cleveland. Michael, the Bengals trying to get off to a fast start for a change.
Yeah, they need to. Last 3 seasons, 0-2 to start. But I think what's different this year, all their stars are happy and all their stars are healthy. You know, they paid Jamar Chase. They paid T. Higgins. They gave Hendrickson some money to come back in there, who led the league in sacks last year. But you know what? This Bengals team, of course, Joe Burrow is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, led the league in passing last year. That guy there, Jamar Chase, led the league in receiving. I mean, these guys can do it all. They've lost 4 games scoring 30 points or more. That means it's on the defense. They got a new defensive coordinator, Al Golden, comes over from Notre Dame. A lot of pressure on him to really turn that defense around to give this team an even better chance.
They gotta get teams to kick field goals.
Yeah.
Just kick a field goal. It's a difference in a game.
Hey, how happy would you and I be if we made $40 million a year?
It's not about the money.
You talk about happy. I am so happy. I can tell you how happy I'd be. I'd be happy.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about, you said how happy they are. The 4 people that are happy.
Yeah.
2 wideouts, a quarterback, and Henderson.
Yep.
Oh.
Cleveland, on the hand, they're
not happy.
They're not happy. They got to go with Flacco, a 40-year-old quarterback. Folks, I'm not a stats guy. I study probably more than anybody here. And we know that. But since 1999, there have been 40 different starting quarterbacks in Cleveland. You show me a winning organization, I'll show you a head coach that has a great quarterback hook to him. They don't have that in Cleveland. I think Dylan Gabriel, their 3rd-round pick out of Oregon, is the answer. Maybe I thought Pickett was. They moved him out to Las Vegas with the Raiders. Cleveland, Flacco, I like Flacco. He'll do a good job, but I look for Dylan to come in early.
Let's go from the AFC North to the NFC South. Gronk and the Bucs and Falcons.
Yes, the Atlanta Falcons have a ton of talent across the board. A first-round quarterback, first-round tight end, wide receiver, and running back. But how can Michael Penix, the quarterback, distribute that ball so that talent equals production? Because that's not always the case, especially over the last 3-4 years with the Atlanta Falcons. And on the other side of the ball, Tampa Bay, Baker has a lot of talent, and he knows how to get that ball distributed to that talent with wide receiver Mike Evans, who's going to have another great year, 1,000+ yards every single season. First-round wide receiver that they took that they're very high on, so expect the Bucs to dominate and put up major points.
All right.
Well, by
Michael,
former Bucs.
Dominate. They lost.
You know who he's rooting for. Exactly.
I really do.
The Michael Penix era is beginning in Atlanta. It is now, though, Russell Wilson time with the Giants. Can Russ still cook?
Yes, sir.
Aaron Andrews chops it up with the former Super Bowl champ as he's about to start for his 4th team in the last 5 seasons. Malik Neighbors hoping that he proves to be a winning combination with Russell Wilson.
Hate is tradition. But Jaden and Malik, different. Bonded in Baton Rouge. Chosen as rivals.
Without him, I probably wouldn't be here right
That's
now.
my brother, man. He a dog. He a true receiver.
You got one of my best friends.
Competition and respect.
The Clutch Commanders, they do it again!
Brotherhood and trash talk.
He up 2-0 with me. I'm gonna get you back, boy.
Year 2, take 1.
How cool was this earlier? I mean, these two have known each other since they were teenagers. So Jaden and Malik loving each other up right before the kickoff of the big game between the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants. Well, after a monster rookie campaign, Neighbors, well, he now gets a whole new quarterback room led by Russell Wilson. As we say hello to Aaron Andrews. EA, good to see you here on week 1. Is it fair to say that Russell Wilson comes to the Giants with a Super Bowl on his resume and a chip on his shoulder?
Chip on his shoulder, but I'll tell you what, Kurt, he's not looking over his shoulder, you know what I mean? And he's healthy, which is great news. Of course, over the last couple years, he's had some injuries. He told us, I feel like I'm 25 years old all over again. Russell is full of confidence. He's excited about being in New York. Of course, that's the city he had his biggest moment as a pro.
New York City.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. The view.
Yeah, it's exciting.
You probably don't want to hear this, but if you take a map of the United States, you've had the whole country covered.
Yeah.
West Coast, Seattle, right? The Rockies, Denver, Steel City, Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And now here we are.
And the first time we ever met was actually University of Wisconsin.
Wow. All over the place. Yeah, we've known each other for a long time.
We've been doing this a long time, yeah.
The Seahawks are NFC champions. We're going to the Super Bowl.
11 years ago, you sat down with Howie Long right here.
Right where we're sitting.
Yeah.
It's funny because we walked in, I'm like, I've been here before. And this window and that skyline, we did the interview, me and Howie.
Has it sunk in that in your second year, you've helped lead your team to the Super Bowl?
Well, it's pretty miraculous. I think the biggest thing is, it's a reflection of, everything I've been able to accomplish. Like I've been here before, won here before.
Super Bowl champion.
Ultimately, though, playing here in this city, I think it reminds you of all the good memories here.
And now you're playing here as the quarterback for the New York Giants. Who saw this coming? Life is crazy.
Sometimes it is.
Wilson takes the snap, drops back. Wilson drops back. Wilson gets the snap, throwing over the middle.
What does the 2025 Russell Wilson know now that maybe the 2012 Russell Wilson didn't?
Not everybody's for you. Not everybody's for you. People are going to love you one day and hate you the next.
Why does New York make sense for you right now?
I think it's the perfect time. We're all trying to, prove ourselves right. I feel free. I just feel like I can fully be me, and fully go be great.
Whatever it takes, let's do it together. Let's do it together.
How do you approach this season then? You have a one-year deal, but here they have this rookie quarterback in Jackson Dart who they want you to mentor. You want to stay the starter, but you know their future is with him. So how do you balance it out?
It's easy. Just focus on today.
Love it.
You focus on just balling. I know that if I'm healthy, I believe I can compete with anybody in the world. I'm healthy, and so it's time to go show it. I know how talented I've been and how talented I still am. And people change their minds quickly. But it's time to remind people. He said there's a king in every crowd. And I'm like, Dad, what does that mean? I had no idea. What does that mean? When I took that knee to go, that still hits me. I think even just being here, is no coincidence. It was a little bit of a road to get here, but it's been a good road. It's been a tough road, but sometimes you go on a tough road and it doesn't make it bad. It just makes it that much more worth it.
Can I give some love to my guy, Howie Long? Russell Wilson says he feels like he's 25. How about Howie Long looking like he's 25 even now? That was 11 years ago.
It's another
Howie,
woman lying to me.
Come on now. Gosh, you're great. All right, let's talk a little football, though. New York Giants head coach Brian Daboll bragging on his quarterback, Russell Wilson, saying, there's a reason why this guy has won so many games in this league, and you can see it when they're at their practice facility. He was just praising him, how great he's been in the room, and Dave's always a little sarcastic, saying Russell's positivity even offsets my personality. Not mine, Brian Daboll's. You feel me, Kurt?
We got you. All right, thank you very much, EA. Well, it's a new spot for Russell Wilson. We go from the sideline up to the broadcast booth for what is now an old familiar face here at Fox in year number 2 as our lead analyst. Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, joins us once again, getting ready to call the Washington and Giants game. Good to see you, Tom. Let me ask you this. Wilson's on his 3rd team in the last 3 years. The Giants drafted Jackson Dart, as they mentioned, in the 1st round. So how much runway does Russell have going into the season?
Can I say something first? I'm glad Gronk was on time today. Usually, the first few weeks of the season, he's a little bit off, but glad he was here early.
Always coming after me.
Good. And I gotta keep you on your toes over there. You took a lot of shots at me over the years. I'm coming back.
Well, when you throw me that ball, I always come through in the clutch.
Oh, you know that, baby. I saw that real time. This is obviously love being out here today. And the Giants, we just saw that great segment with Russ. They really believe in Russ, not just as a player, what he can do on the field, but really as a leader for the organization that they haven't really had. So, yeah, Jackson Dart, I believe he can sit on the sideline and watch a real professional, and Jackson can grow in that role as well. So I really love this QB room. I love how they've developed it. In fact, I think any Giants quarterback room that doesn't involve Eli Manning, I like.
Hey, Tom,
Good line.
I wanted to give you a compliment, but you came right at me right at the beginning, but I still will give it to you. You're 12 years older than me, and you're kind of looking younger than me still. Whatever you're doing, it's working. Keep it up, my man. But Jaden Daniels and the Commanders had a great year last year. How are they going to step it up to continue that success?
Yeah, it's a great question, and they won so many close games last year. We talked about them all last season late as the cardiac Commanders, but I don't want to see any more heart attacks because these close games they're a little bit unsustainable. And not that, I don't love a good comeback. There was one I think I was reading about 28-3. Yeah, it was fun. But I will say,
that's right.
Thank you, Tom. What I want to see, I want to see these guys get ahead and stay ahead, and they have the team to do it this year.
All right. Well, Tom, thank you, and Gronk, and how are you guys looking? Have a great call, Tom. Everybody's saying you two look younger. There's a lot of lying going on this show today. But, we're speaking about the Giants. We're talking about offense. But this Giants defense could set the season for this team. I mean, this defensive line is being compared to the defensive line I was on back in 2007 when we won the Super Bowl. No. They are being compared to that. How you have Burns, you have Lawrence, you have Thibodeau, you have the first-round pick Carter. They have all the talent, all the potential. This is the difference. You got to take that potential. You got to make it into production on the field. If they can do that, this team that, they brought in Dable, they brought in Joe Shane to make this, turn around the offense. But this could actually be a defensive-led team, and then the offense can get their feet under them. But they have the toughest schedule in the league, but I think this defense could be special.
And they didn't do them any favors going on the road to Washington either.
Started out. Yeah.
I agree with Tom. I think the close games is kind of a tightrope walk. I think, there's a chance this team in Washington could be better, but the record could be a little worse. People have thought, hey, look, defense coordinator is going to have an entire offseason to figure out Jaden Daniels. Well, good luck with that because I just think he's a special player. They bring in Tunsil at left tackle. They draft a #1 pick in right tackle. Deebo Samuel comes in. His skill set complements Terry McLaurin's skill set so well, 13 TDs. And I think when McLaurin was out, Deebo and Daniels got on the same page, and I think that's going to be an exciting combination.
You're talking about young quarterbacks later on Fox today. Bo Nix in his second year with the Broncos, taking on the #1 overall pick of the Titans, Cam Ward.
Yep. Going to be fun to watch, folks. Cam Ward, the #1 pick out of Miami to Tennessee. I actually hadn't heard anything about him this offseason. Even had to look him up because all I heard about was Shedeur Sanders with Cleveland, a 5th-round pick. So I think the pressure's a little bit off of him thanks to the Cleveland decision. But here's a guy, everybody says all the right things. And my source, my close source in the NFL from Florida has told me this guy.
Had he been fishing? Is he by the pool? And how many beers did he have?
I cannot give it up. But he tells me the guy's smart, poised. He does have Ridley White out, a receiver. He has Tyler Lockhart they brought over. Ziegler, they bring in an offensive guard from Detroit. He's got weapons, and that's the key. This kid is going to be so good.
Tough test in Denver.
Yep. Gronk quickly, San Francisco.
My
and Seattle.
source.
That's another one.
Yeah, so San Francisco 49ers need to take advantage of the Seattle Seahawks for not knowing what type of team that they are yet. The second-year head coach, they shipped off DK Metcalf to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Also, they got a new quarterback in Sam Darnold. So the San Francisco 49ers need to take advantage and win this game because by the end of the year, when the Seattle's meshing together more, I feel like they're going to be the better team.
We're going to have Jay report on you ins and outs later. I think you're going to pass out over there. Take a breath.
Yeah.
It's okay.
When he took a breath and looked up, I was like the eyes about to roll back ahead.
I'm nervous.
Sits there, has an inhaler.
Exactly. All right, let's check in with Jay Glazer for more ins and outs. Brought to you by Geico. And he mentioned Christian McCaffrey. What is his status?
Listen, the San Francisco 49ers had a huge scare on Thursday of practice. When Christian McCaffrey injured his calf, it was ominous there. There were some people there saying, oh no, did he tear his calf? Did he pop it? Luckily, he went in and got scans, and the scans came back completely clean, so he expected to be a full go later this afternoon. Good news for the 49ers. Stay inside that division there. Kyler Murray actually woke up this morning, had some GI issues there, had to go downstairs and talk to the trainers about it. Once he did that, they had to list him with an illness, but he is good to go today. We talked about the Giants earlier. Malik Neighbors, he's been banged up for the entire preseason, a lot of the preseason. That back injury, he is good to go today. Brian Daboll said no limitations for him at all. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Vita Vea, huge, literally, for that defense. Been banged up with a foot injury. He's good to go today. But on the other side of that, with the Atlanta Falcons, Darnell Mooney, a valuable wide receiver for Atlanta, he's out today. Finally, we talked about Micah Parsons. Look, Micah is going to play later today. He's not going to have the full role that he obviously hasn't practiced throughout the preseason. But when he's in there, it's not just going to be from one position. They're still going to move him around, even in a limited role.
All right, thanks, Jay. Hey, this season, the Your Way slider from FanDuel lets you control the odds so you can play your game exactly how you want to play it. Gronk, who do you like as a parlay today?
Well, everyone knows I love the number 87, and I wonder why. So I got Bijan Robinson for 87 or more rushing yards, and I got Jamar Chase and Malik Neighbors for 87 or more receiving yards.
All right, that's the FanDuel parlay. New FanDuel customers can get $300 in bonus bets if your $5 bet wins, like that one from Gronk, which would pay right about $48 today. Let's get to our official picks, guys. Week 1, let's get it all started. Terry, the Bucs at the Falcons. Tampa Bay favored by 1.5.
Okay, and they should. That's who I'm picking to win. Don't forget, last year Atlanta swept Tampa Bay. That's not going to happen. Tampa Bay gets to win.
Michael, the Bengals 4.5-point favorites on the road at Cleveland.
I just want everybody who goes by my picks, I want you to know this is the year. Okay? This is our year. All right. You know what? I think that the Bengals get off to a fast start.
There you go.
I'm going to take Cincinnati.
All right, Gronk. The Commanders favored by 6.5 at home against the Giants.
I'm sorry, Michael, but the Giants just don't have enough firepower. I'm going with the Washington Commanders.
And Howie, the Jaguars 4.5-point favorites at home against Carolina.
Folks who are going with Mike's pick, he is due. I'll go with Jacksonville, and I'll go for the 2 points.
He's done that already. It's week 1. Let's get one last extra point before we get out of here. Michael Strahan, what do you have?
You know, I think the number 1 and the number 2 pick in NFL draft, Cam Ward and Travis Hunter, I think they both are going to score a touchdown today. But the great thing is, Travis Hunter, is he going to score it on offense or defense? You have to wait around to see.
Well, that's one of our games coming up at the top of the hour. It'll be Carolina at Jacksonville. We'll find out whether or not this is indeed Michael's year. Look, we've been waiting since February to say it. The first Sunday of football is here. If you got an early game kickoff, it's coming up. Everybody else, stick around. We got more for you. Thank you so much for watching this Week 1 edition of Fox NFL Sunday, presented by GMC.